Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. Today we're doing something very different. We're with Blake's Aquatics today.
Hi, how you going? Thanks for coming across.
It's okay. And it appears we're not too far away, so we've come to his amazing fish room. We're going to tour all his tanks. And he's got some amazing aquascapes here. If you haven't checked out his channel, he's got a channel called Blake's Aquatics. Please check it out and show him some support. And let's dive into it. So Blake, what's this tank here?
So that tank there has some paradise fish in it, which are in the gourami family. They're sort of like a more cold tolerant betta. And then we just got some, I don't like to call them culls, but just some of the koi tuxedo guppies that don't have exactly koi tuxedo traits. So I just let them live out in here with the paradise fish, and yeah, I don't mind keeping those around.
Very beautiful.
And then next door to that we've got that's a pair of Epistogramma agassiza fire golds. We'll see some fry from those guys shortly. And then at the top of the aquarium we've got some golden wonder panchaks. So the female is the one at the front, and then the male has more of the golden colour in the body and the tail. So this, you can see they're in front of the spawning mop there, which they'll go into that, lay eggs and things like that, and there's some fry from those we can see as well. That's pretty much it for that tank. Next to them we've got betta here, a Dumbo half moon betta. I actually won that one in a Facebook competition, which was kind of cool. Betta Breeders Australia, and yeah, I'm keen to do a bit of that myself, so I'll get him breeding pretty shortly. At the bottom of that aquarium and this aquarium, you might notice that there's a lot of terracotta pots.
Alright.
So I just like to do that because it saves on aqua soil. Makes, you know, you can easily move plants from aquarium to aquarium if you start them up and pack them down, and yeah, I just kind of don't mind the look of them. If you keep them in with red fish as well, they'll really bring out the red colours in the fish, so I don't mind the look either. Next door we got another type of panchaks. There's a blue panchaks in there. The male just came to the front there. He's got a lot more of the powder blue sort of colour in the tail. Once again we've got a spawning mop in there. And at the bottom of the aquarium we've got some peppermint bristlenose just in the cave. Yep. So there's, I think, 4 peppermints in there, and then I've got another 8 in another aquarium just to sort of get a bit of insurance there in case one of the tanks crashes or whatever. But yeah, certainly love a bit of peppermint bristlenose. In here we got some Epistogramma McMasteri. The female is that one on screen now, and then the male is that stockier fella at the back there. These guys actually fry from an original pair that I had that I don't have anymore, but yeah, I think we've mainly got males left, so I don't know if we'll have any more from this line, but yeah, really stunning fish, one of my favourites. Moving across, something that you don't see every day, we've got my pea puffers in here. Yeah, really hard fish to get in Australia, but it was certainly on the bucket list, so I had to pick up some pea puffers when I had the chance. These guys are good snail eaters, and yeah, that's pretty much maximum size for them, so super adorable little puffer fish. True freshwater puffer as well, so you don't have to keep them in brackish or salt water, which is handy. Down we've got some German white tuxedo guppies in here. Probably the next 3 tanks we'll look at are guppy tanks. I just enjoy managing guppy lines. I think there's a bit of reward there. And then at the top of the aquarium, there's one just up here. We've got some interesting fish. These are platinum wrestling half beaks. They got some really nice platinum body, red and yellow fins, which is cool to see. They just stick up the top of the aquarium, look like a mini gar, so that's pretty cool. You'll notice in a lot of these guppy tanks that I do have that white rock in there. That's basically just to bring in a bit of hardness into the water, because down here we have very soft water, so a bit of limestone in there will, the guppies seem to do well with that. Moving across, we got some dragon guppies. I think you're a big fan of these, Laz.
Yeah.
So this started off with the trio. This must be about 5th or 6th generation now, so been a really successful venture, I guess, from picking up a trio. They breed really true, and yeah, I'm super happy to have got those. And then in the series of caves below, we've got some more of the peppermint bristlenose that we discussed earlier. So we have had them breed, but yeah, I won't be able to find the babies. They are super good at hiding. So yeah, it's a bit of a treat whenever you do see one of those. Moving up, we've got one of my favourite guppies here. We've got some koi tuxedo guppies.
The female is very pregnant.
Yeah, so they have been pretty good breeders. I haven't had them for as long as the other lines. Not exactly sure, maybe 6 or 8 months now. And yeah, we've had a bit of mixed success, but yeah, I'm just trying to get some really nice true breeding koi guppies out of these guys, koi tuxedos. And in here we've got a breeding pair of bristlenose as well. The female is albino and the male is common, so we've got some nice little mixture happening of albino, common and marble.
What are these beautiful fish?
Yeah, so those are Daisy's rice fish. The cousins to the Japanese rice fish, but not as cold tolerant. But yeah, really nice powder blue and red fins on them. The males, when they are in breeding condition, get actually a nice charcoaly sort of colour, so that's fun to watch as well. And they do something pretty cool. The females actually carry their eggs on the outside of their body and then just swim by plants and drop eggs all amongst those, so that's interesting. Also in there's some Praecox rainbow fish, just up a little, yep. So that's a male there with the red fins, and behind him is a female with the yellow fins. And there is 4 honeygrams as well. So yeah, just a fun little tank to watch. You want to keep sort of larger things down the bottom, I found, because otherwise you're always kneeling down and it's kind of hard to pay them attention down the bottom. In this divided aquarium here, we've got Crebensis on both sides. On that side there's a common Crebensis there, come from Josh from Aquamate, and they're doing really well in here. We've had lots of breeding action and stuff in there. Got some wild Crebensis, they're Pelvicochromis sacramontis, and yeah, I recently picked those up, and they're going to have some really nice coloration on them eventually, a nice red slash purple body, but yeah, just need to do a bit of growing first. Moving across, we have, this is kind of like a fry grow out tank here, so we've got a bunch of baby angelfish in the bottom. Moving up above, we've got a hang-on breeder box here, which has the Golden Wonder killifish in it. So there you can see one of the fry there of the Golden Wonder killifish. They certainly just hang out at the top of the aquarium and don't move a lot, but that's fun to see anyway. Fry grow outs here. In there's some more Golden Wonder killifish, just a bit bigger of a size, so I didn't want to put them in with the others. And then we just got some convict cichlids in there, which are getting pretty chunky as well. But yeah, I like the DIY side of things. You can certainly do things a lot cheaper and gets the brain thinking. Whenever you're at a little $2 shop or whatever, you come up with some ideas. So that's good to do. Next door to them, we've got some Odessabarbs there, which are those really striking red through the body, and white fin something tetra. The name's slipping me. I only just got them a few days ago, so I need to say their name a few more times before I remember. So in here I do keep one saltwater aquarium, which has been running for 2 or 3 years now. So they're my Lazarus clownfish. Also in there we've got a bunch of corals, and that is my royal dottyback, or bicolor dottyback. Has a bunch of names, but still a nice looking fish. Also, you might just be able to see the whiskers poking out the top of this rock here. There is a pair of coral banded shrimp as well in there, but they're pretty elusive, so they're hard to capture on camera, but really nice looking big long armed sort of saltwater shrimp. Nice point of difference, I guess, than the freshwater side. Probably you won't catch me setting up as many saltwater tanks because they're a bit more work, and I'm certainly a plant guy, but yeah, it's a good fun little tank, and the kids love checking out Nemo and all that, so yeah, it's a good tank to have. Okay, so this tank here is a bit of a DIY job. It was a 2-foot tank that I took one of the sides off siliconed it to the front, and then cut 45-degree angles on the walls. Made a bit of a DIY paludarium out of it. So I've put a false back on there and a pump that pumps water up and across, so that water is constantly going up and around this sort of planted area. There's lots of bromeliads and air plants along the back there. And that kind of acts also as the filtration, so bacteria will grow all on those surfaces, and that's what will break down the ammonia from the bottom of the tank, which has about a dozen white clouds in it. So I don't heat this tank. Yeah, it's super easy, low maintenance tank, but yeah, fun one nevertheless. Actually, it used to be inside, but the running water was a bit noisy, so that's why it's good to have a fish room. You can make as much noise as you like. But yeah, fun little project. Yeah, I did a video on the whole thing as well, so if you are interested in building something like this, it's easy to do yourself, and yeah, I'll show you how to do it. So this aquarium here, I breed my chocolate cherry shrimp in. So houses, I don't know exactly how many, maybe about 50 celestial pearl danios and 4 whiptail catfish as well. So right on the front of the glass there, ready to say hello, is one of the royal whiptails there. Really quirky looking fish. I'm hoping to breed them one day. They actually lay eggs on the glass and sort of camp on them, which is going to be fun to see. But yeah, I recently rescaped this aquarium with the new 88 Africana as the substrate, just so that would be easier to see the shrimp, because if you can imagine them on a dark substrate, it's really hard to know how many shrimp you got in here. So I was pleased to see how many there are. So yeah, it's still got a bit of growing in to do this aquarium, but fun one nevertheless. I've got another hang-on breeder box on the front here, which a bit of a running theme in my fish room, just because it saves on having to set up more heaters and things like that. In here we've got some more celestial pearl danio fry, so really enjoying breeding them at the moment, and yeah, it's growing to be a bit of an addiction. I want to make myself a little army of celestial pearl danios, so yeah, I'll keep churning them out. So this aquarium here has kind of like my larger fish in it. There's a bunch of striped silver dollars in there, I think about 5. We've got the Saratoga Lycardi there, which is the big arowana looking fellow there. We got some Geophagus as well, orange head tapaho they're called, and they're, yeah, those fish that just darted away into the corner. And then sort of the big main attraction, I guess, to this tank here is my 50/50 Motoro black diamond stingray, which loves to bury himself in the sand, as you can see there. And yeah, really, he's still very small. He's a male, so they might grow sort of around the 60-70 centimeter diameter, so it's got a lot of growing to do, and I've got a big aquarium to go shopping for, but for the meantime he's pretty happy in there, and he eats on pellets and all that, which is really handy when you have a stingray. Sometimes they're a bit finicky. So this tank here has some more American cichlids in it. We've got the big jaguar cichlid there, front and center. He's kind of like the boss of this aquarium. Well, he was up until very recently, when the second biggest fish in here, the Jack Dempsey, he decided to randomly breed with that flower horn that's next to him. So when they decided to couple up, they became sort of the boss, and put the jag in the corner for a little while, but the eggs were infertile in the end, so we didn't get any baby Jack Dempsey cross flower horns, which would have been interesting to see. But yeah, it's kind of a very aggressive aquarium in here, but everyone has an equal level of aggression, so it kind of works out. But typically I wouldn't recommend somebody else to keep an aquarium like this, just because it's sometimes a disaster waiting to happen, but I'm prepared if that does happen. And then here I've got 2 sort of main planted aquariums next door to each other. Both of these have really high power lights and CO2 going into them, so kind of like more of the quote unquote high tech aquariums here. Bunch of plants and a bunch of fish. So we got in this one Bosemani, rainbow fish, discus, angelfish, which are all fry from some adults we'll see shortly. Plants include, that's Ludwigia repens there. We've got some red tiger lotus, Blexa japonica, a bunch of different stuff in here. But it's just a good fun one to, seems to be well balanced, so I don't get a lot of algae and stuff, which is fun. And yeah, it's just a good one to sit back in front of, and often this is the background in my live streams. So yeah, some people will probably be pretty familiar with that. This is the one next to it. So this one has the angelfish parents and some other rainbow fish as well. So there are Irian red rainbow fish there. We got some, that's a Splendida rainbow fish just on the right of screen there. That's a red rainbow fish. We've got some turquoise rainbow fish as well, and some black banded rainbow fish. So heaps of activity, heaps of fun in this one. There are also, if you look really closely, there's small things as well, like rummy nose tetras. We got a bunch of Corydoras as well. We've got Julia cories and some bronze cories as well in here. So, but they're usually hiding amongst the crypts at the bottom of the aquarium. So once again, pretty well balanced, fun one to sit in front of, and doesn't take a whole lot of work really once it's all established.
So there is a lot more tanks that we need to look at, but we can't do it all in this one video. So if you want to see more tanks, then check out Blake's channel and show him some appreciation and support. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this really cool video. I really love these setups. They're just, you do a really great job.
No, thanks. Appreciate you coming by. You're welcome anytime. And yeah, who knows, we might have to help you out with some goodies maybe if I'm allowed to. But
Yeah.
Other than that, yeah, it's great to have you, and yeah, welcome anytime.
Thanks. And stay tuned, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.